The unprecedented riots of 2020 forced first responders in the Twin Cities to look at how they work together and how they'll respond in the future. Damage impact in the capital city from the fires, looting, and unrest could top $100 million. Since then, police and fire began working in coordination in advance of the trial of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin across the river. Here is WCCO's Jennifer Mayerle.
Parts of St. Paul left in ruin by the damage done in the days following the death of George Floyd. Lessons learned during the chaos of 2020 prompted future preparation in the city.
We're spending more time training. Getting better just doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? You have to spend time. You have to come together. Mutual aid partners have to come together and train together.
Senior Commander Troy Green leads the St. Paul Police Special Operations Unit. It formed in 2016 after seeing a need after the death of Philando Castile by a St. Anthony officer.
Our priorities are protecting people, protecting First Amendment freedom of speech, and protecting property.
The unit has been present for the nearly 300 protests and demonstrations in the capital city since last May. Green says the totality of what's transpired since then has helped agencies better communicate and share information.
One of the things we learned this past spring is there's a real need to protect our firefighters during potential civil unrest.
Police and fire trained together over a span of 6 weeks. All 430 firefighters went through the training.
And just making plans so that we are ready and in the event of any disturbances or unrest within the city of St. Paul.
Deputy Chief Roy Macoso with St. Paul Fire says situations arose during the 2020 unrest that made responding challenging.
As crowds' temperaments changed, they had to quickly pick up and kind of drop what they were doing and leave the area pretty quickly.
He says leaning into the coordinated effort has helped with things like security and logistics.
The security presence that the police provide enables us to focus on our job without looking over our shoulders or being concerned for threats to firefighters. We feel that we are in a good position to be prepared to respond to any and all emergencies.
Other precautions exercised in St. Paul, fencing and barricades surround the law enforcement complex.
If we can protect a building, brick and mortar, with a fence, that allows us as police officers to go out there and protect businesses, protect the community members.
Green says they communicate with groups planning to protest ahead of time to share expectations and to help facilitate.
We're expecting more peaceful protest here in St. Paul. If anything else happens, if people have a different agenda, we're prepared.
Numerous businesses were impacted by the rioting last year. That's why police are also working with business owners to prepare for potential unrest and to talk about ways to protect staff and customers. In St. Paul, Jennifer Mayerle, WCCO 4 News.
The city has a website dedicated to updates on preparations. It includes upcoming safety sessions for business owners, and you can find that information at WCCO.com/links.